Are you posting enough on social media, or are you posting too much? Hi, it's Wade here, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the most optimal frequency for you to be posting on a social media to keep your audience engaged. So let's get started. Now, keep in mind that these are just guidelines, and the optimal frequency actually depends on you, your channel, and the people in your niche. But on top of that, a bit of consistency, getting the time the same every week will actually also help, because people will come to know to expect your posts when you post them. Now, we're going to be covering a few networks in this video. We're going to touch on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube, and give you a bit of an idea on how you can go with those social media networks. Starting with Twitter. Now, Twitter is constantly changing. However, because of the nature of its feed being constantly updating and constantly flowing, you actually need to update Twitter a lot more than other networks. However, plain text posts do really well on Twitter, so the recommendation for that is usually about 14 times a day on weekdays and 7 times a day on weekends, and 3 times a day is considered low. So you can actually create a lot of tweets quite easily in Twitter, and even do a lot of not straight up repeats, but you can re-promote things, because the Twitter feed tends to sort of scroll through pretty quickly. So starting off with the most frequent one, Twitter, 14 times a day on weekdays, 7 times a day on weekends is the recommendation for your posting frequency. Now, next we have Facebook, and Facebook's algorithm is a little bit more about presenting you exactly what you want, as opposed to just what's going through the feed, sort of a little bit less like Twitter. And for that reason, you can post on Facebook probably once or twice per day max on a Facebook page, unless you're running a meme page or something like that, and get pretty good engagement. But you can also get away with even posting once or twice a week, which is considered low, and still get okay results. The Facebook reach is a little bit diminished, so you do have to be highly engaged to see results on Facebook. So it really depends on how much time you're willing to put into that social media network. And moving on to Instagram. Now, with Instagram, looking at in-feed posts, once or twice per day is great. However, you can also get away with less, like maybe once or twice or even 3 times a week is considered low. But if you are also posting to stories, posting at least once a day is really good for keeping up your engagement, and that way you're still connecting with your audience on a daily level without having to come up with daily feed posts. Now, LinkedIn, which is, I think of it as similarly to Facebook, is a very it's not as cluttered a platform, I believe, as Facebook, and posting about once a day is great, or once a week, which is considered low. Works well for LinkedIn. Now, next we have Pinterest, and if you're using Pinterest to grow your content or your blog or anything like that, it's considered about 10 pins a day is the best frequency, which sounds like a lot of work. But even once a day is fine, or at least a few times a week would be considered low. The good thing about Pinterest is it's heavily search-based, so anything you do put on there will actually have a longer shelf life if it performs well, and actually give you a lot more attention for months to come, as opposed to a day or simply a few hours. Now, finally, we have YouTube, which is another search-based platform, and your videos can live on for years. A lot of the videos on my channel have actually been getting traffic, high amounts of traffic, for years. And I usually recommend, if you want to be consistent and produce good quality, once or twice per week is good. However, you can also hit once a day if you're really trying to be aggressive. So that's a really high frequency. Once a day can work, although it can also put people off. But any less than once a week is considered low. Now, keep in mind, these are all numbers based off a combination of my experience running several different social media accounts and platforms over the years, as well as research and information I found out on the web. But it might not be specifically for you, but give it a go and see what you think. Otherwise, how often are you posting on social media and on these platforms? Leave a comment below, and let's get this conversation started. Otherwise, thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.